Well, now greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is I, the Ravenous Spectre, and today we're going to do a little bit of a quote-unquote unboxing. Well, it's not really an unboxing, as I've said before. These are some used games that I ended up finding that were quote-unquote special, or special editions, if you will, when they came out. A few weeks ago, when the lady and I ended up going on vacation, I ended up going by one of these normal places I go to called Player's Choice, and ended up picking up a handful of games on some trade-in credit. But there's only three of these that I really wanted to showcase because of the fact of them being quote unquote special. And the first one that we have here is Two Worlds. As you can see, yeah, the box is beaten up there quite a bit. With the trading credit, I mean, obviously I didn't really pay anything out of pocket, if you will. But as you can see here, I have the stuff laying over there because I wanted to have it all separated before I started going through it, so I didn't have to pause and move this around and that and the other. But anyways, we have a little bit of a character back here, and part of the map. You can barely see her in there, which is kind of strange. I thought they might have had some way to pull that out, but I guess not. I thought it was like a art print or something. But anyways, yeah, this is what this is. And I actually have this game, I believe, on 360, but I ended up getting this one because of the special stuff that was in it. And actually, there was no reason for me to really get it because the special disc that's on here ain't really worth nothing. There's some like really short videos on there, which is just a waste of time. And they have some music you can listen to in it, which that's good. And then they have like some, I think they have like some art prints or still images or something like that. But ultimately, I think that's all that's on the special disc. And then, of course, you have the game disc itself. I'm like, man, collector's edition, my butt. That was a complete and utter waste of time to even bother to even make that disc. There's nothing special on it at all of anything that I've seen on it, none whatsoever. So besides just having an extra copy of this, obviously, you know, we have the instruction booklet here. And, of course, it has a bunch of info in here on it regarding characters and story and controls and so on and so forth. You know, back in the day when we used to actually get manuals. I mean, even during the PS3 and 360 era, we didn't really get many. But there was a select few that would end up having that happen. And then the next thing that we have here that was inside of the package, and hang on a second while I unfold this thing, is a map of the world. As you can see right here, almost Elder Scrolls-esque, if you will, somewhat, just for the simple fact of having a map of the world. And honestly, I've always liked maps like this. Well, not all maps in terms of the game, but when it comes to like old world aesthetics, medieval fantasy, even if it's like sci-fi or something like that, I definitely like having little maps like this that you can hang up and showcase or just refer to if you need to. You know, just in case, because I think there's been some games I've went through before that didn't even bother to have an in-game map. They just had a paper map, and that was it. I'm like, well, that's kind of lazy. So, anyways, that's what that is for the Two Worlds quote-unquote Collector's Edition. The next one we have here is a Lost Planet Extreme Condition for the 360, and it is a steelbook, and the wear and tear on this, I wonder if that's the way it was made, or if it's actually like rust or something. I don't believe that it is, because when I run my finger across it, it feels like it's smooth, you know, like it was actually put into the case itself. It's not rough or anything like that, or jagged or nothing, so they probably really meant for it to look that way. And on the inside, and I can't remember what the prices were for these games, but they were cheap. Of course, we have a bonus CD here, and obviously I'm guessing that has the music from the game on it. I haven't gotten around to listening to it yet. It's really strange because I tried to put it in my PS4, and it said it couldn't read it. I'm like, doesn't the PS4 read CDs as well? I mean, I knew that, you know, the other PlayStations do, the 1, 2, and 3, but I was like, does the 4 not do that? That's kind of strange. But anyways, of course, you have the game here, and I'll listen to this at some point. But the Steelbook does look pretty cool. It really does. Sorry, I didn't mean to sneeze on camera, but oh well, that's life. But another thing that they ended up having in here was a little art book. And remember the past to fight the future. But they got little different types of mechs in here and environments, and it looks like enemies that you would end up coming across. And I don't think I've ever played the original Lost Planet. I believe there was 3 that came out in the series. The third one I have on PS3. I played it on there, but I haven't beaten it. I guess there was pros and cons throughout this series, considering I believe only 3 were actually made. But yeah, but to be able to get this stuff as cheap as I did, yeah, it was definitely worth it, especially for this one though. I mean, because it had like a really unique art book in there, and apparently the soundtrack in there as well. So yeah, this one was definitely more worth it in a sense than the whatever the piss they were thinking when they put together the Two Worlds Collector's Edition. They must have been on drugs or something there. And then the next one that we have here, and the final one, is Prince of Persia Limited Edition. Yeah, of course, the box is beat up a little bit, but like I said, I ended up getting this stuff cheap. I think altogether, the price range between all 3 of these was anywhere between, I think, $7 to $12. I think maybe a little bit less, but it was somewhere within that range, if I'm not mistaken. But the only thing that was inside the box was obviously the game itself. And I believe I also have this on PS3, but I think it's just the digital version. I don't know. I'll have to check my collection. And, of course, you know, there's the booklet in here, which I don't think it really has anything in there besides just the controls. Okay, yeah, it has some info and character info and move sets and all that stuff. But this right here is this the game? Or is this no, this is the game. You have the game itself, and then you have the bonus content here, which is a little bit better than the Two Worlds Collector's Edition thing, because they have like a little really short director's commentary on there, which really ain't much of nothing, really. I think there were some art prints on there, and I think there was the soundtrack on there as well, if I'm not mistaken. But not really anything to write home about, but definitely better than Two Worlds 2, because, you know, they were on the wacky weed when they were putting that thing together. But anyways, yeah, these were just a few little special editions I ended up picking up while on vacation, and wanted to showcase them and talk about them, because to be perfectly honest, I wasn't even really aware that there was special editions like this that had came out for these specific games. I think I did for Prince of Persia, but not for Two Worlds, and Lost Planet, I think each one of them had like a little collector's edition thing, what have you. But anyways, got them really cheap, got them on trade-in credit, and yeah, so anyways, I would go ahead and end this like I always do. Later taters.